Hello and welcome to month 3 of our Dear Jane. We're going to redo this video because we had some technical difficulties and unfortunately it got lost. So I'm going to go over all of my Dear Jane blocks. So I have this handy chart that I'll be putting on the website that you guys can get to. If you can see it, it'll just have a chart so that you can track your progress of which ones you've done already. And then also, this is also on there as well so that you can see the entire quilt in its glory. So, all right, just to get through our blocks here. So, these are the ones that I've done, and I've continued to do combos of the fabric. So I used the peony stripes and then a little bit of the JoJo print in the center for my block. This is C1. And then here I have for C2, I've used a pink. Then here is C3. So I've also used some fabric that I've just had laying around that I have scraps of. So these blocks are perfect for that because they're so itty bitty. Like this is like a 1/2 inch square. It's so tiny. So definitely use all of your scraps. You can use fabric from previous blocks if you want to combine that. This is my hoarded Slow and Steady fabric that I've had for a couple years. And then here again is this is not hoarded. This is new. But anyway, here I have what I did was I just sewed a pinwheel, and then I used fusible applique for this block. So you can see how my edges are not, it's not turned under like I did for previous months, like for, let me grab the pile. So for the previous months that we did, where we did the sew it to interfacing and turn it around. Wow, I don't see it in the pile. It's got to be in here somewhere. This is getting to be a very large pile, so that's very exciting. Here it is. Okay, so on previous months when we did, like, these are really similar where we have a circle pinwheel applique to the center. This one you can see how it's a lot thicker because I turned it under with interfacing, and this one I just did fusible because I thought I would try out the different techniques. And then I appliqued these edges here. So these are appliqued down. And there's 4 of them because it's just a pinwheel. So here's my paper piece pinwheel that you can see. And then I appliqued this circle and then appliqued these edges on there. So you can see my stitching lines, and that is how I sewed those ones on there. So that is my pinwheel block for that one, which is similar to this one. I felt like that kind of took way longer than this one, so that's why I changed it up for that. But you're more than welcome to use, you know, whatever method that you really like, you know, or, you know, change it up like I did and figure it out from there. Here is this one. So this one is appliqued as well. So there's 2 separate, there's actually 5 pieces. So there's the center piece, and then each one of these corners, that's a separate applique. And I pushed mine really far away from the edges just because I didn't want to, I wanted to make sure that when I piece these blocks together that it's not going to hit any of the aqua at all. So there's a pretty hefty seam allowance on this. So, but it's still 5.5 inches. This one is super tiny. This one took a long time to paper piece. So I took out all the papers already because I feel like it would be really overwhelming at the end. So I've started to take my foundations out so that it's not a problem. And I also press these open because they're so tiny, they get really bulky. So I wanted to make sure that was not super crazy. And I pressed those ones open when I pieced those diagonal diamonds together. Okay, this one, again, just straightforward paper piecing. And I already ripped off my blocks. So for these ones that are set in, sometimes I just tend to sew very large triangles onto it, and then just use our template and just trim the block to size. That way I don't have to worry about fussing and gluing the foundation to the fabric and then piecing it together. So those ones I will piece very large triangles on, and then I will just trim it up with our cool template. This one, applique, so easy. So you will see, so when you get your kits, you will have long strips of fabric and you will have squares. So the squares are always meant for the applique blocks. So so you'll get a 6-inch square that needs to be trimmed down to 5.5 inches. So that's what these one blocks are for. So what was the other one? Oh, the other one was background. So other all applique, this was a background, so you'll have enough background. And then the strips, you can easily cut these pieces from the 4.5, 5-inch strips that we cut. But the squares that you get, those are definitely reserved because they're special. They're reserved for the background blocks of that one. I am somehow missing 2 blocks. I don't have with me today C10 and 11. I don't know what happened to them. And I'm really hoping they'll surface before I have to redo them. So that is my goal, is I'm going to wait until, I'm going to give it another month before I don't want to have to redo them. So I know they're somewhere. I'll just have to find them. So this one, here we are. We're going to do, this is C12. And this is some tiny teeny 9 patches. So these 9 patches finish at about, gosh, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches-ish. So that does take a while, but look how cool it is. So yes, that one was really fun. And then these ones, which are really great because it's all one piece instead of, 14 million pieces. I think it's like 90. It's like 90 squares. But anyway, it's fun. It's worth it. So this one, C13, really simple. I combined a solid with a print. This is actually from Pinkerbill. So you won't have this one. This is from my stash. But in your kit, you will have all the fabric that you need, plenty of fabric to make all of these blocks. And again, I apologize that our month 3 video was not up, and I'm not sure what happened to it. If it was just flagged and taken down, if it just never uploaded. It's completely gone. So I have no evidence of what happened. So again, I apologize for that. But all Dear Jane month 4 kits are going out today. So you guys should get some shipping notifications. And then really shortly, I'll be doing the video for month 4. So thank you and have fun sewing along.